everyone, and welcome back to the ESVTV coverage of the Gigabyte Stars War 7. These are the Chinese qualifiers, the finals, Game 5 between Sen, our red Zerg here, representing Game of Airs in the 1 o'clock position against his opponent in the 7 o'clock position. MacSed, our blue Protoss, representing IG. These guys are tied up. Sen started up 2-0 and then decided he would kind of mess around a little bit, go 6-pool 2 games in a row. Ended up failing for him. You know what? Now we're back on Daybreak, where it's like, oh man, Sen, is it possible you threw these finals away? You know, like, MacSed's got to be feeling good about the fact that he just took those last games and now he's moved on to Daybreak, a map that a lot of Protosses feel pretty confident on PvZ. I wouldn't say it's like terribly Protoss favored, but it's a map that Protosses just feel confident on. It's one of the maps we see chosen a lot when Protosses like lose and have to play game 2 in a PvZ. Really early drone scout though, so it looks like Sen really wants to go for his hatch block. He loves just starting off these games with unorthodox starts into standard macro. It's like he starts off with some weird cheese, but then follows it up with really solid macro play. It's pretty cool. These hatch block plays really messing up Protosses that are just kind of relying on going for their standard play with their Nexus first on the natural. Which, you know, it's just something that most Protosses are just so comfortable with and so confident with that build that then when, you know, they block it, you're just not comfortable at all with what you're doing. And look at this, he's not dropping a forge yet. He thinks it's hatch first because there's no pool yet. And that just means that the cannons to block this hatchery are going to be that much later. And there's the hatchery going up for Sen. And there's the forge immediately afterwards. How many probes will he pull? It looks like just 3 to start off going to be attacking this hatchery. 4 to start off. 4 probes attacking the hatchery. No big deal. As long as he makes a cannon, or maybe even 2 like we saw him do in Cloud Kingdom. Should be fine. I wonder how Sen's going to transition this time. He's got his drone over here. Pick off this probe. Maybe we'll take that natural here, but MacSed should be able to block that. Yeah, he drops a pylon. And only 1 cannon. He's feeling very confident with 4 probes attacking right from the start. We'll see if that'll be enough for him. I do feel like it should be, but you never know. Sen hasn't opted to make the queen a single time, even when he clearly had the time in the semifinals to be able to make it, so I doubt he's going to do that this time. He really just likes delaying that Nexus as long as possible. As long as Protosses are going to delay his hatchery with a pylon, he figures, hey, I'm going to delay your Nexus with a hatchery and some creep. And he does let it finish. Will he make units? Clearly not making a queen. Oh, and he drops his first hatchery in the middle. He does have an overlord here to spot this cannon rush coming, though. So MacSed trying to do some cheeky play. Should be shut down pretty easily by these lings. They're not even going to go... No, they are going to kill this pylon first. No, you really want to kill that pylon? Maybe he's just going to wait for let some cannons go down, but no. MacSed realizes if there's an overlord there, it would just be a waste of money. And he has 750 minerals, so it's just kind of like, what do you do right now? Well, yeah, you want to wait to make your Nexus, but you also want to get that gateway up that much quicker. He was saving it up to maybe go for that cannon rush. He's just kind of putting himself behind right now. Delaying his timings as a result. His hatchery is going to successfully go up. I believe the probe is either picked off, or this is it. So you're going to have a pretty quick 3 base. And that is center expansion. It looks like they're playing on a ladder version of this map, so... It's got 8 minerals and 2 gas geysers, guys, with a Zalaga tower to defend it. Why wouldn't you take that as a Zerg? You should be doing that every time on ladder, basically. By the way, I saw someone in chat asking why you let it finish. You let it finish because the creep that it spreads out takes forever to dissipate. If you don't let it finish, you just cancel. The creep disappears pretty much immediately. And they drop their Nexus, and the whole point was to delay the Nexus. So if you let the creep kind of spread out, and then it gets killed off, it just delays the Nexus that much longer. Sure, you lose 225 potentially returned minerals, but it's worth it to delay the Nexus that much longer. And 3 hatch finishing up for Sen. Should be able to macro out like a beast and just pump out drones at an insane rate. Forward probe, unfortunately for MacSed, unable to get much scout information other than the fact that his opponent's going 3 base. When will we see gas from Sen? How many? What's he actually going to try to rush up to? I don't know, guys. Oh, a Stargate coming up very quickly here from MacSed. Considering his gateway timing, that is a very fast Stargate. Something that Sen might not be accounting for here. His Overlord sees no gas of the natural, so probably won't expect this type of play. He is adding double gas now. So we'll see if he does that on that Evo chamber in time, if he gets enough queens, etc. And it's going to be 3 more gateways, so looks like it's going to be +1 4-gate Void Ray. +1 4-gate Void Ray from MacSed. As we've seen, a really common build. And if the Zerg's really not prepared, it can easily kill off their third base. But if he is prepared, it ends up looking pretty silly to get out some roaches, to get out some queens to deal with the Void Rays, maybe even a Spore. And it ends up being pretty ridiculous when the Zerg does hold it off. Even though this isn't like a quote-unquote all-in from the Protoss, it's not fully invested. You have the ability to tech up behind it. Even though it's not fully all-in, if you fail with it, the Zerg is able to just have a full 3-base economy and just macro up. It's pretty hard to deal with. It's pretty hard to win if this build does fail. Nice job canceling some creep tumors there, but it's not going to be a big deal for Sen. He already has creeps ready needs. Forward pilot should hopefully tip him off. Sorry, wow, I'm like yawning uncontrollably here. I need to like chug some more tea or get some coffee or something. Unfortunately, I woke up way too early this morning. Tried to sleep longer, but some jerk in the house right next door was doing construction with one of the loudest, I don't know, it's probably like a chainsaw or something, I don't even know. So, sorry if I'm a little sleepy in this cast, guys. But Sen is getting some roaches already over here. When there's only a couple Zealots and there's no Void Ray yet, this is so hard to deal with. Your Zealots can't really engage into the roaches on creep. So you're just going to lose your forward pylon. You really can't afford to lose the forward pylon. You can't keep warping in more Zealots up here. It doesn't have any other pylons along the way. They're going to have to warp in all the way back at home. So this push has already been shut down. And Sen barely even started the game. Like, he made a couple roaches and the bush is already over. And he's making spores against this Void Ray. I really can't see MacSed doing any damage at all with this build. He might be able to take a third behind it. That's one of the things you can do is keep the Zerg busy with this build while you take a third. But considering he doesn't even have a forward pylon, how busy can he keep him? It's only Void Rays, not Zealots. So he shouldn't be able to take this third successfully. Sen should just be able to go attack, but maybe he can get up a nice SimCity or something to prevent that. Sen finishing up his drone count here. Going up to a 67 for now. Making a whole bunch of lings. So we'll probably see him just make a ton of units since his ling is there and he sees the third. He'll just make a ton of units and go kill that. Actually, no. It's going to be Spires. So he's not just going to make a bunch of roaches and go win the game. He's going to go ahead and go up to Muta. The last thing MacSed will expect after opening Stargate. He's coming off a couple Overlords, but that's really all the damage he can do with these Void Rays. And in fact, lings are going to go try to counter that base. He's going to send a whole bunch of them over there, but they don't even have... Do they? Oh my god, he doesn't even have Zerging speed, but that will complete soon. Roach is going to get in position. Actually, not a lot of forces here from MacSed. 3 Stalkers and 4 Sentries is not a lot. I don't even mention the Zealots because they're only going to help really against the Lings. They don't really do a lot for him here. And you can just surround and target fire the Nexus. That's exactly what he's doing. This many Lings doing this much DPS. You can't really deal with it as a Protoss, but the Void Ray is coming in here, so he needs to take decisive action. Either stop attacking the units, like attack the Nexus or don't. And he's not, so he's just going to lose all these Roaches. And he is taking a 4th base bomb, so he'll be able to go up to 8 gas for this Muta play yet again. Something Sen really loves to do, a common theme in a lot of his games. Phoenix will be able to, you know, get some scout information, pick off this Overlord. Has he scouted yet? Oh my god. You don't want to use your Phoenix to kill Overlords because you can use Void Rays to do that. Just go send your Void Ray over there. What you want to use the Phoenix to do with its increased mobility is scout. Figure out what the Zerg's doing. The Spire's already done. You need to see that as soon as possible. Every moment he delays with his Phoenix is just, it's awful for MacSed. You want to see that Spire as soon as possible, and that's the only reason you build a single Phoenix. You're not building 5 for harass. You're just building 1 for scouting. And guess what? He's going to see the Spire. It's too late, man. 15 meters are already 2/3 of the way done. Like, just a little bit late to be scouting a Spire. He's going to have to start cannons, but it's going to be too late. The Muta's already going to be there to kill the cannons. He doesn't have a Twilight yet, so can't even get Blink, let alone +2, let alone Storm. This is just brutal for MacSed. Where does he even put his units to defend? He's spread out over 3 bases without proper cannon coverage. Mutas are just chilling, though. Oh my god, Sen throwing away his timing. Okay, there we go. Like, every single second counts right now. If you can get there before the cannons finish and just kill them off, it's great. There's only 1 cannon and 6 Stalkers. He should easily be able to kill them. Keep in mind, all these Stalkers over here... Oh, he does have Blink. I don't know what's wrong with me. Where does he have the Twilight? Oh, it's right there. I'm blind. I'm totally blind. With Blink, he should be able to hold this off. For now, at least. I'm so wrong. But Sen is going to get up to 8 gas, be able to make tons of banelings. Then he's going to go for, tons of mutas. Then he's going to go for banelings again. He's getting +1 flyer attacks to really help out that bounce damage for those mutas. Just chilling for now, though. Not trying to do too much pressure, as MaxSed was pretty well defended there. Didn't even try to go to the third. And there's plenty of units there, so with good reason. Although he doesn't know that. He's holding both like a tower, so he's got great map control right now. And he's just still extending his creep, which is pretty darn good. Gonna send some speedlings and his mutas over to put on some pressure. Look at this. Muta's finding a little sweet spot where there aren't that many units over in the natural. Gonna be able to pick off that sentry, that stalker, and the void rays in the cannon. No problem here. Stalkers get warped in. He's trying to bait the army. That's exactly what he wanted. He baits the army out of position. You want to send your stalkers, not your sentries, because here's what happens. The lings move over. They can target fire the nexus. That is why you have to leave your sentries and have everything in separate control groups. A critical mistake by MaxSed is going to cost him the game for sure. Like, he might not have lost anyways, but if you're on 2 base Protoss against a 4 base Zerg, you've already lost the game. His only chance right now is a big counterattack, and if he wins with the counterattack, that's great, but there's a lot of spine. Well, not a lot of spines. 4 spines already. 9 more mutas on the way. Banelings with Bane speed. It's just a disastrous situation for MaxSed. You can't be at this level. No, he's not. Okay, he's got his control group set up for this as a control group, and then these stalkers as a control group. That's understandable. But you really just can't have your sentries in the same group as your stalkers, because then, like, you send your stalkers to deal with mutas. Sentries aren't helping you. Maybe Guardian Shield, but you don't really need it in that situation. Gotta leave your sentries at your third. Or you have to have a wall off. If you don't have a wall off, you just got to do that. And that one critical mistake really just, ruins MaxSed's chances of making this into an epic comeback. I don't know, maybe we'll see if he can pull off a miracle here, but I've seen the situation like a billion times when the Protoss loses their third like that and the Zerg already has a fourth. It's pretty hard to come back. Zerg has to make some pretty bad mistakes, but he's going to pick off some Templar. Great move. Oh, those Templar are so important for the Protoss, and he does pick them off before they could throw down Storms. Did he even have Storm upgraded? Yes, he does have Storm. Maybe he didn't have the energy. I wasn't paying attention. Creep spread still extending out for Sen. Maybe he'll take a 5th base soon, now that he knows his opponent has reestablished his 3rd. In fact, yes, he's sending that drone down to take that right now. Infestation pit on the way, so he can get that hive. Maybe continue his air upgrades. Maybe, get infestors. Maybe get broodlords. We'll see. He's getting +2 flyer attacks, so it could allow him to get +3 flyer attacks. Hive is on the way. He is getting pathogen glands, though, so does want to mix in some infestors, for sure. I'm really surprised at his low spine count. He's adding an overseer in case we see DT play instead of spores. Well, he does have a spore, but it's much more reliable to have that overseer. Otherwise, 4 DTs can come and snipe that spore pretty quickly. This Muta Clump is getting pretty huge, but there is a Templar here. It's got energy for 2 storms. He's got to be careful where he puts his mutas. If they get storm, they can do so much splash damage. There's a storm, but it completely misses. That storm literally did 0 damage to the mutas. You got to aim with the little flyer helper things. Those little circles on the ground, you got to aim where those are with your storm. You can't aim where the mutas are. And that's what he did, unfortunately. So Templar died and did no damage. And now these stalkers are dying, and he's dealing with banelings running into the 3rd. Oh no, the banelings are going to target down everything. Probes go down, cannons go down, Nexus goes down. Yet again, the sentries are out of position, trying to move back to defending against the mutas in the main. A great play by Sen, pulling MaxSed's army out of position by moving in with an immeasurable force of mutas in the main, and then just moving in with the banelings at the 3rd while he was unprepared. MaxSed making the same mistake twice. You fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me, man. Don't make the same mistake twice. It feels bad. It's just not a good thing to do. He's going to take out the destructive debris, but that's really not going to accomplish anything for him at all. He's just going to be walking into the same spine crawlers. He doesn't have a faster reinforced timing. Your Protoss, you have warp gates. It doesn't change anything. So this is the attack path he wants to attack from. But the Baneling's just finished here. And, oh man, he's going to need perfect force fields. Force fields go down. They're decent, but not good enough. The Banelings get in. They kill Stalkers. They kill the Templar. They kill the Sentries. Fungal's going down now. He's got so many Infestors. There's just no way Max is going to bust through this. And there's the GG. Sen takes it 3-2. He wins the finals of the Chinese qualifiers. Well played by him. Really well played. That Muta play really showing us that even if the Protoss is really well prepared for Mutas, they got cannons, they got Templar, they got Stalkers, that there are still ways you can outplay them positionally, pull them out of position, kill off their bases over and over. And if you can keep a Protoss in 2 base, you've won the game as Zerg if you're on that many bases. So really well done by Sen. We're going to move on to our next match. It's going to be the finals of the Westerner qualifier. It's going to be Demaga against Grubby. Don't go anywhere, guys. Should be another really sick PvZ after this quick commercial break.